I'm Katie.
And I'm Kay.
And you're listening to the Babes of Quinte podcast.
Andrea, the owner of Angelic Serendipity in Trenton, is constantly reminding us to have fun as she shows off her amazing products that she has in her store.
Angelic Serendipity offers a wide range of crystals, chakra stones, incense, boho clothing and decor, samples, and so much more to complement all spiritual paths.
You can shop Angelic Serendipity in person at 2 King Street next to Liberty Tax, or check out Angelic Serendipity on Facebook at Angelic Serendipity and Instagram at angelic.serendipity_.
Don't forget to tune in to Angelic Serendipity Facebook Lives for astrology and full moon readings throughout the month. We are truly obsessed with the Family Dental Center and all the support they give us. FDC is locally owned with offices in Belleville, Frankfurt, and Coburg.
Dr. Yasmin and her team have personally helped me overcome my dental anxiety, and I actually feel confident and excited to go to my appointments now.
The FDC team offers high-quality dental services such as routine hygiene, restorative oral surgery, crowns and bridges, cosmetic dentistry, Invisalign, implants, and dentures.
There's so many options to make you feel comfortable and align with your schedule, including extended hours and being open on Saturdays.
For more info about FDC and to book an appointment, go to familydentalcenter.com and don't forget to follow them on Instagram at FDC Family. Okay. Hi, it's Friday. We're late. What a week. It was a short week.
It was
You were on vacation last week too, which feels so long ago.
It feels like that vacation didn't happen.
You did work over it, which
lightly. Went to the Quinte Museum.
So fun.
For the Quinte West Chamber Mingle.
Mm-hmm.
And we got to see Deanna, who's the
Love her.
executive director of the Quinte Museum. And then we saw Jenny, obviously.
We love Jenny. I think we talk about Jenny every episode.
Pretty much, just because I love her so much.
I love Jenny. She's such a vibe. It's been a week. I was sick yesterday. Weird. Don't know if it was a migraine, a stomach. I think it might. I don't know.
And I just have had big SADs all week. Which is weird. I don't know.
But you know what? It hits you when you least expect it.
You know, I think it's because I'm hormonal.
Yeah, that too.
And I think talking about it is like, I think I need to talk. I want to talk about it more.
Like go to therapy?
No, just like as like an everyday thing. Like I'm not like, I don't want to like sugarcoat it for people anymore.
No, and I think that's important when you're having like a bad day, just to be like, not my day. I'm sad.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Like my boss the other day, I went to go talk to him about a work thing, and I was like, oh hey, like do you have a minute? He's like, yeah, how are you doing? I was like, well, I'm upright and like I'm here. And he was like, that's a really low bar.
Sometimes, though, that's the bar you have to meet.
I was like, man, I'm taking the wins where I can get them.
I think the thing is, if you've never been a person who has, like, literally struggled to get out of bed some days, you don't know that sometimes just being up and, like, out of your house is a huge win.
Oh, I cried the whole way to work that day.
Yeah.
And do I know why? No. The other week it was because I was thinking about, it was raining and I saw a cat outside and I cried about kittens being outside in the rain with nobody to love them.
Oh, that is sad.
Like full on breakdown.
Yeah. No, I think it's life's tough.
I don't know what it is. So it's like, but no, like the sun's out today. I feel great today. Like yesterday was good. Like
I'm having one of those weeks where just like nothing goes to plan.
Oh,
which is very hard for me because I'm very like schedule oriented.
Yeah.
And then everything this week is just like yesterday I had 3 like things, like pretty big things that needed to be done, or like I needed to go to appointments and such. And my body was like, you know what? No, I'm gonna make you sick.
Yeah.
And you're gonna stay in bed all day. And I don't do that. Like
no.
Jeanette was like, I was like, I think I have to go back to bed. And she was like, you look like the color of our walls, which is like very white.
Yeah.
And she was like, good for you. Like, and then I could hear her talking to my mom on the phone and she's like, she went back to bed. So, you know, she's not feeling well because like I will push through if I can. But yesterday I was like, nope.
No. And
today.
you didn't like message me like all day.
I slept. I pretty much slept.
Yeah. And I was like, I'm lonely. But also, like, that's how I knew you were, like, really
I feel like
good.
that's how people know if I actually will be in bed all day. And I couldn't even look. It's because I think I had a migraine on top of, like, a stomach bug, so I couldn't see very well. But the world.
Struggle bus.
Struggle bus. anything. Oh, so on the weekend, I asked people, because it was raining, like what shows they watch.
Yeah.
Because I love 90 Day Fiancé. When I'm at the cottage, my parents have cable, so I watch 90 Day Fiancé. But then my sister-in-law was up at the cottage watching Selling Sunset, and then Tina from XXL, I think it was Tina, said Selling Sunset, and now I'm deep into Selling Sunset. It is trash. So good though.
Just wait till you. How far are you now?
I finished season 1 on Monday in a day,
Okay.
and it was actually just an evening, and then so I'm slowly watching season 2 now. But I just like because my sister-in-law was watching like the newer season, the outfits they wear, I'm like, this is so impractical. They're wearing like ball gowns to show real estate.
I know.
And then Jeanette's telling me that she watches one of the ex-Selling Sunset women on TikTok, and apparently it's all fake. And I'm like, do not ruin my dream
Christine.
here. It's Christine who ruins it all? Oh, that checks out. I know she leaves.
Okay, so yeah, no, Christine
Because she
leaves.
married a billionaire.
Yeah, so also she did a whole interview with Call Her Daddy
About how it's all fake?
about all of it. About her pregnancy. There's like, honestly, there's so much. Once you get to the things, and okay, so when you watch it, when she's pregnant,
Is she not actually pregnant?
I genuinely do not believe she carried that baby.
And did she say on Call
She
Her
was
Daddy?
in heels. Okay, so she had a very like traumatic pregnancy story. And then like the timeline of things just doesn't work out. She was like in like 6-inch heels like 2 days after having a traumatic C-section. And like that just seems like not a thing.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I mean, no shade, but I need you to watch
I will.
watch it and kind of like
I will just say,
I
like,
want your
I love
opinion. I think she had somebody carry the baby for her, which is
feel like
fine.
that's fine.
And I think that person had a traumatic birth, which is also fine.
But so she, I'll
She
get
basically
there.
looks like she did like immediately after giving birth,
Okay. Interesting.
which I know for a fact is not a thing. You could be tiny as hell. The second you give birth, you still look pregnant for a
yeah.
couple days.
Yeah. This I know.
Yeah. Anyways,
Not
that's my
because I've
2
had a
cents.
baby, but because I've
Been around people.
been around people who have had babies.
Yeah.
I just have my dogs.
Yeah.
And I didn't birth them.
No, you did not.
But they're cute.
They're so cute.
Anything else before we jump in?
No, I have things for after
Okay.
the episode though.
Okay, but so this week, well, you're about to listen to our chat with Tim and Emily from Tweed Co, which I think we were both nervous about. Someone from Tweed Co reached out to us to have Tim and Emily on.
Yeah.
And we were nervous because
I don't know anything about Tweed Co.
I didn't know what to expect.
Nothing.
I think usually we get nervous before interviews when we don't have like even a social media relationship with people.
Yeah.
So we did not know what to expect. And then guess what?
They were awesome.
They were amazing.
Literally, you'll hear it.
And now I play on the same multi-league team as Emily.
beautiful.
Like, what
See,
are the
beautiful,
odds?
beautiful, beautiful friendships have developed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should we get into it?
We should get into it.
Okay, enjoy. To quote Beetlejuice, Deo, Deo. JK, no, that my Al from Cool 100 wanted me to do that. But really, it's showtime. We have 2 actors from Tweed Co in the studio today. Tweed & Company Theatre is a registered charity and is a creator and producer of original Canadian musical theatre, as well as quality professional grassroots regional theatre. They operate the Marble Arts Centre in Tweed and the Village Playhouse in Bancroft. They have spent over 14 years bringing theatre and music to the magical rural areas. Tim Porter is the artistic director and grew up in Tweed, and he had his first job at Poplars Golf Course, which I see now is permanently closed. After high school, he went to St. Lawrence College for musical theatre performance. He returned to Tweed and founded Tweed Co Theatre in the fall of 2009 with the mandate to create more Canadian musical theatre. Emily Mewett is originally from Stirling and went to Ryersn to complete their production program. She is now the general manager at Tweed Co. In addition to putting on some amazing productions and hosting training for budding superstars, the company was honored to have one of the top 100 festivals and events in Ontario, plus many more awards, is what I was looking at. Ladies and gents, this is the moment you've been waiting for. Please welcome Tim and Emily from Tweed Co. Hi. Was that right at all?
Yeah, 99% of it.
mostly.
What was the 1%?
I would say Emily's not,
I'm not an actor.
I knew it.
Honestly, I was like, she might not be an actor, but we're going for it.
You could say. I mean,
She's a dancer.
That's a
oh my God.
performance art.
I was.
What
kind of dance did you do?
I did jazz mostly,
Oh.
a little bit of hip hop.
Amazing.
and,
Where?
tap.
Where did you do that?
So there was a dance company in Stirling. And
Really?
I'm fully blanking on the name of it now. And then for a bit, I went to Quinte Ballet School.
Oh, wow.
In Belleville. Yeah.
So you were like a big dancer. I'm
was.
calling that an actor. That's like a performance art.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm trying to convince her to make a one-woman show, but
Oh my
Like
gosh.
just dancing, or would there be a script?
Who
I
knows
think,
what
yeah.
it would be?
Just interpretive dance,
It's
like
gonna
just
be-
iPod on shuffle.
yeah, it's set at a rave. We no joke, it's in our sauna. And every year I'm like, update on the rave musical, please.
Honestly.
And then she
And
never-
it's a no-go.
You know,
I think it needs to be
something will
enough.
come out someday.
Even if it's just for us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It won't go anywhere else, but
Are you
maybe
sure?
we'll come back here.
Can we
once it's
film it
done
and
be
Yeah.
we can do it as paid programming?
oh my God.
I love it.
Yeah.
I know it's a fundraiser now.
Oh, I love this idea.
Yes.
And
Someday.
there'll be a lot of glow sticks. That's what I
100%.
assume. I've never
Yeah.
actually been to a rave,
Absolutely.
but
Me neither. So
I have.
yeah, we're
Guess I
clearly the
better do
people
some
to rate
research.
it.
tell
I'll
us
be-
about raves.
I will consult. I'll be the
Great.
rave consultant.
Oh, good.
We'll get Squiggy
Yeah, I was gonna
from
be
Black Mondessa.
Yeah, he's
Also
into some
big
raves.
raver.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Okay.
we got you.
We got
It's
you
fine.
guys.
Great. Love it.
First big question, what is your favorite kind of potato chip?
It's really hard to choose because all of them, but
Yeah, fair.
sour cream and onion.
Damn.
Second person.
I love a sour cream and onion. Yep.
I like lightly salted original, which drives Emily insane.
Boring.
Lightly salted.
Why lightly
I
salted?
you
don't know, I
dip
just
them?
like the taste of them.
Do you dip them in anything?
Yeah,
Oh,
dip.
yeah.
Okay, well, if
Yeah.
you have dip, then that's fine. That's
What's
Yeah.
your dip of choice?
The onion.
Oh, yeah.
That
French
Ruffles
onion.
onion dip. That's
Okay,
so
yeah.
good.
If you were just like raw dog, lightly salted chip, I'd be like,
I mean, I do that as well, but
get out.
We're done. This is
whenever
over.
from the grocery store is right beside our office, so frequently we go and get the 4 bags of chips for $8
Yeah.
or whatever the stupid deal is, and I'll come back with 2 bags of lightly salted, and it'll
And I
just
flip
Two
a
bags?
table.
into a rage. Yeah.
Two, but
yeah.
you only need one.
You're right. I don't know why.
Or, I feel like now I have to go try these. It's like,
Oh God.
It's like a salted chip, but
But
not,
not
as
as
great.
salty.
They're
Yeah.
secretly
it's not worth
delicious.
it.
I disagree. You can eat more of them. Sometimes the salt gets overwhelming.
okay, yeah.
no, never.
I don't agree.
Strongly
but
disagree.
We'll allow it. Oh my
but with a dip, it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because sometimes
Yeah.
it's too salty with the dip.
Exactly. Yeah.
But yeah, if you're just
That started
that was
out rough.
That was-
But let's bring it back. Okay, Tim, you grew
Yes,
up in Tweed.
I did,
Did
yeah,
you do
yeah.
theater in Tweed as a child?
No, it was so.
Does that exist?
Yeah, not really. So there was is a playhouse, but it's been abandoned for 20 years now.
Oh, okay.
So when I was coming up, they were still I think I saw the last 2 community theater productions there when I was 7 or 8.
Okay.
So it just closed in time for me to be interested in it, really. But I don't know. I didn't really get into it until I was in high school.
Oh.
My sister was into it, and she made me audition for our High School Musical.
What high school was it? Is
St.
there?
Teresa.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
What was the musical?
It was the leader of the pack,
What is that?
which is no one has ever heard of it. It did not do well, obviously. It's the Ellie Greenwich story. So she wrote Leader of the Pack. She was it should be more prominent because it's about a major female songwriter that nobody knows about. But she wrote all those songs like Leader of the Pack and Bye Bye Baby and that Christmas song that just says Christmas over and over again. I will not sing it. Yeah, I'm sure.
Can we peer pressure you?
Maybe later.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So I auditioned for that and then got a part and fell in love with it and then never looked back. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Super cool.
But no, there wasn't really theater in Tweed when I was growing up.
Shocking.
Shocking, right? Farm town. You're a farmer, right? Or you grew up on a farm?
I didn't grow up on a farm. When I was like 20, I was like, you know what could be fun? Farming.
Ah, yes.
Wow.
Good.
And then I fell in love with a farmer. And,
Amazing.
And she's all right. She's cool. She's cool.
Cool.
We're not on a farm anymore, but she's still a sheep shearer. So
Oh, cool.
we're still kind of in the agriculture
Yeah, sweet.
world, which is a weird world, but it's fun.
I grew up on a farm as well. And
Oh, really?
Yeah, my
What's your
brother still
farm?
has, we have beef cattle. My
Oh,
brother
nice.
runs our
Okay.
farm. Yeah.
Nice.
Herefords.
Wow, did that give you? We were talking about this with Evan Firmage. It hasn't come out yet, but because he grew up like working on a farm,
Yeah.
do you feel like it gave you a crazy work ethic?
1000%.
It's weird. It's
Yeah.
wild.
Yeah.
Like farm kids are built different.
Yeah.
It's so true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just like don't stop. And people
No.
are like, we have to like take breaks.
And you're like,
That's
what's
me.
a break? Someone's gonna yell at me.
Fully. Yeah.
My niece, so my partner's sister, they run like 130 head of cows and like
Wow.
cash crop, and it's insane. And they have 4 daughters, and the oldest one's 10, the youngest one's 3. And I was trying to get them to put stuff in the compost bin, and the youngest one drops stuff, and the 10-year-old just goes, "She's useless." I was like, "She's
Oh my God.
3.
Yeah.
She doesn't have to be useful." It's like that's farm mentality.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah, totally. I did not grow up on a farm.
Yeah, where'd you
Nor
grow up?
have I ever worked on a farm. But I grew
Yet.
up on a hobby farm. Yeah, I guess, yeah.
Oh,
My
still
dad's a beekeeper. So
That's cool.
I guess, yeah, it's technically a
That's-
hobby
yeah.
farm.
That's very cool.
in
I
Stirling.
love bees.
In Stirling, yeah.
And then
just outside of town.
Is there a high school in Stirling, or where did
No,
you?
there was like way back in the day, but it got turned into, at the time, a 3rd elementary school.
I
So
love
all
that
these
small
kids-
towns do that. They have like 3 elementary schools, no high school.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Where
yeah.
do all these elementary school kids go? What happens to them?
Belleville,
On a
mostly
bus, yeah.
Bayside, but
Oh,
Yeah.
that makes sense. Because
that's
that's
some
where.
to Center Hastings too.
Isn't that far?
It depends on where you live
Oh,
in
okay.
Stirling. Yeah.
And some
Where's
to say,
Center
we had a lot of
Hastings?
Sterling kids. Like the
At St.
Catholic.
Really?
Teresa's,
Oh,
yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, because St. Teresa's is the other Catholic
feeder school.
So
Yeah.
okay, I never thought about that.
Yeah.
That there's another Catholic school. I was like, Nicholson.
Yeah.
What else is happening?
Oh, yeah.
St. T's is the cool one.
And how did you get? Because okay, so you went to Ryersn for
I did for theater production.
yeah.
Yes.
What made you want to do that?
So, I mean, I like as Tim said earlier, I was a dancer, and yeah, so just kind of got interested in live entertainment and the arts pretty early, and I started volunteering as an usher at the Stirling Festival Theatre. I think I was in grade 6. So I guess we could technically say that was my first job. Because sometimes we'd get like $5 for the shift.
I mean, when you're that age, $5 is a lot.
you're
right.
Totally.
I mean, not so much now. No. But like,
No,
you
no,
know
no.
what I mean? Like back in the day.
Yeah.
I'm like aging myself. I'm like, yeah, like you're only 34.
Me
35.
Oh,
But you know.
yeah. So
Whatever.
$5 was a lot.
It was a lot.
yeah.
Yeah, it was exciting. So yeah, I started working there as an usher, and then just fell in love with theater. And Tim and I were both. He hasn't mentioned this yet, but we were both in the Young Company program there at the Stirling Festival
okay.
Theatre. So that's where we met.
Wait, so how long have you two known each other?
Like
I was
20 years?
maybe, yeah.
Oh my
12 or
God.
13 or something, and you're 3
Amazing.
years older. So
Yeah. I started when I was 16. Like after that musical, I auditioned for the Stirling Young Company. So I
Okay.
started later, but yeah, so I was 16, I think.
yeah.
And I'm 36. That's 20 years.
Wow.
That's wild.
That is
That's
wild.
a big friendship.
It's our anniversary.
party?
Yeah, obviously.
Friendship party.
That's the rave production you're gonna
Yeah.
put on.
Yeah. Oh shit, we gotta
There
get
we
ready.
go.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh yeah, that's good.
That's a fun tidbit. I didn't even think of that.
Neither did we, obviously.
Wow, yeah.
And then so because there's not a lot of theater in this area, right? Is that correct?
Yeah.
Not
Assumption
until
to
we
me?
came along.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but so like, what did you do after you like like post-secondary, what was the path there in life?
We both went to Toronto, like moved to Toronto after college, or I guess you were already there for university,
university.
and then actually lived in an apartment together with Trish, our creative director, for a long
Stop
time.
it.
Yeah,
I'm loving this best friend. Like I'm learning so much.
I know. I'm just kind of like, how do I infiltrate myself into your friend group?
Should we get into musical?
yeah, it's
I'm
fun.
already into music.
Oh, sorry.
So I can like South Pacific.
Oh.
Be still my heart.
That's nice.
I don't
Yeah.
know what
Did
that
you do musicals in high school?
No,
Oh.
I watched them with my grandmother.
Oh, sweet.
Growing up, like on
that's why I thought
VHS.
it. Yeah,
like the
same.
Cinderella one.
With Brandy?
Yeah, no, before this
Oh,
one.
before that.
Mm.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love the Brandy one.
The Brandy
So
one is
good.
great, but this is like before Brandy.
Okay.
The King and I.
Is that how all kids got into musical theater? Is like watching VHSs
Probably.
at their
Probably,
grandparents'
yeah.
house?
Oh my god, that's so true. That is
Yeah.
100% my story as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
My
just-
grandparents only had The Sound of Music. That was the only movie.
oh,
in
I also
my
had that
house.
one, but I didn't like
Interesting.
switching it halfway through because it was multiple
Oh.
VHSs.
Mine wasn't. Or maybe I never saw the end. I don't know now.
It was two. I don't think I was allowed to watch the Nazi parts.
Fair.
Anyways,
My grandma had. This is probably like part of my love of Canadian theater. I have honestly not connected those two thoughts ever before either. But my grandma had, for whatever reason, the 3 Stratford productions of the Gilbert and Sullivan
Amazing.
ones
That's cool.
on VHS from like
That's
the
so cool.
80s. Yeah. And then when I started working in the industry, I would start working with people that were in those VHSs, and I was like,
Stop it.
"Oh my god, you're so famous!" And they were like, "That was a filmed for CBC garbage production." Like they did not care at all.
no, but like
to me, it
it's
was
like
yeah.
monumental in your like
Yeah.
young childhood
Yeah.
life. It like
Yeah.
gives something to. I don't know.
Oh, I
There's
thought that
something about it.
it was like, Universal Studios to me. Like, I didn't know.
Oh yeah. Well, you don't know any better when you're a kid. You just watch it and you're like, oh my god, and I'm just like mesmerized,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah,
I'm just kind of
totally.
like, I want a giant King and I dress too.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how do I dance with all of them? And
Yeah.
I danced as well, so it was like that was like kind of like, and then the music came, and I was like, damn, I have no rhythm. But
Yeah, I couldn't
neither.
sing. That's why I couldn't get into. I never made it into the musicals at my high school.
Yeah.
I was great at improv.
Oh, fun.
Shocking.
Yeah.
'Cause I love making up weird scenarios. So then, how long were you in Toronto, all living together? And
Till the pandemic.
really?
Yeah.
Yeah, we both were still working. So, like, coming back here, obviously, to do shows, but we were both working, myself as an actor and Emily as a stage manager at,
In
like,
Toronto.
big theaters across Canada.
But
Yeah.
so you started. Tweed Co started in 2009. So you were just like,
It was just like a very part-time.
okay.
We would, do early. It was like 1, maybe 2 things a year, right?
And we would
then-
schedule, like, we would kind of find out at the beginning of the year which shows we would be doing at other places.
Oh.
Like, both of us worked fairly consistently for major companies that we, like, got our schedule far enough in advance, kind of, most of the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we would just say, okay, we both have June off. We'll do a show in June this year.
oh my gosh, like just
Yeah.
like no breaks.
No breaks.
No breaks. No.
Yeah.
That's
And
very
it's
cool.
like,
Yeah.
when you're working on a contract in theater, you work 6 days a week too. So there's
Yeah.
legitimately
Really?
no breaks. There's no weekend. Like, you get a day off, and it's hard. It's a lot of work.
And then
Yeah.
you would.
You really have to love it.
Yeah,
So clearly, I'm assuming you do.
Yeah.
we used to. We hate it now. No, I'm
I
just
mean,
kidding.
we
No,
hate
we
the
don't really.
we hate the hours now,
Yeah.
but
Are
No,
the
we don't. We
hours
love it.
still crazy?
They've gotten worse.
they're worse.
Yeah.
Oh. I feel like it's supposed to go the opposite way.
Yeah.
I know.
I think just because we went through such a growth spurt in the last year or two, that, finding our footing and running now 3 venues, like we took on another venue this year, and it's been kind of crazy.
And we're the only 2 full-time employees, so
Oh.
and we have another person who works close to full-time hours in the office with us, but otherwise people are part-time and working remotely. Like Trisha's in Toronto.
Yeah.
Rebecca is currently working in the Yukon.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah,
Yeah.
we're
Casual.
Casual.
Yeah.
The Family Dental Center provides a range of dental treatments and services, including Invisalign.
Even though back in the day it was a total flex to show up to school with new elastic colors on your metal braces, traditional braces can cause a lot of pain, restrict food choices, and are difficult to floss. Overall, they just kind of suck.
That is why FDC offers Invisalign, a clear way to straighten your teeth with a series of removable, comfortable, invisible aligners that gradually move your teeth without the pain of metal wires and brackets.
Your smile makeover is an investment in yourself, and all Family Dental Center locations offer third-party financing to help you fund your new smile.
To find out if Invisalign is right for you, contact the Family Dental Center in Belleville, Frankfurt, or Coburg at familydentalcenter.com. Last year, Jeanette and I had the pleasure of participating in Volunteer and Information Quinty's Dancing with the Stars. Despite not being dancers, we had an amazing experience and learned some super cool moves that we still use at parties. We literally still use our cartwheel flip. We brought it out at my brother's wedding.
The 15th annual Dancing with the Stars Quinty is returning on May 26th. We at Starboard Communications are big fans of the VIQ and Dancing with the Stars, with our coworkers participating almost every year. This year, Lewis from the Cool 100 Morning Show will be putting on his dancing shoes, and one of our past podcast guests, Jen Beldam from Northern Craft Supply, is also taking the stage.
VIQ is a multi-purpose agency that assists with the recruitment, referral, retention, and recognition of volunteers to over 275 agencies throughout Hastings and Prince Edward County.
Dancing with the Stars Quinty is VIQ's largest fundraiser, and it ensures that they can continue to provide the essential programs and services to our area. Let's support this amazing organization in Quinty while watching some of our favorite local stars perform a dance they've learned over the last 8 weeks.
For more information on Volunteer and Information Quinty and to purchase tickets for the 15th annual Dancing with the Stars, check out the link in our show notes. Angelic Serendipity is locally owned and operated by Andrea in Trenton. She has created a metaphysical store that specializes in selling items related to spirituality, alternative healing practices, and metaphysical beliefs.
Angelic Serendipity offers a diverse range of products such as crystals, sound bowls, and so much more.
In addition to all the amazing products you can buy in-store, Andrea offers Facebook Live events to spotlight full moon readings, spiritual readings, and astrology reports.
On June 3rd, Angelic Serendipity is partnering with the Trenton DBIA to organize the first spiritual event in downtown Trenton starting at 3 p.m. The event promises a magical evening embracing the magic moon, including mystical vendors, dancing, guided meditation, and a blessing ritual.
For more information about Angelic Serendipity and the upcoming spiritual event in downtown Trenton, like Angelic Serendipity on Facebook at Angelic Serendipity and follow the store on Instagram at angelic.serendipity_.
So, tell us about the venues then, because you just got a new one.
Yeah, well, so we just it's a total fluke. We during the pandemic worked with a bunch of other groups in Tweed to apply for funding to build an outdoor stage so that we could keep doing shows.
Yeah.
Then the government takes forever to do everything. So we in October, I guess, of 2021. We found out that we were being gifted the Marble Arts Center, which was our home venue in Tweed. Okay. And then we had also, it's all longer stories than this, but I casually had placed a call to the theater in Bancroft, being like, we might tour a show there again next year. Are you into that? And they were like, oh, actually, the people that were running the venue have given up their lease, so we don't know what we're doing with the building. We were like, oh, well, we could probably help out with that. So on the same day, got a phone call that we were taking over both of those venues.
On the same day?
On the same day. And then, so January 1st, we took over both of those venues. And then in February, the government was like, congratulations, here's a bunch of money to build an outdoor stage. We're like, okay, sure.
This past January or the January before?
January 2022.
Okay.
Yeah, so the January before.
So is it built? Is that stage?
It's done now.
It's done, yeah.
So
that's exciting.
Yeah. The first concert will be Hotel California, the Eagles tribute, on May 26th.
Yeah.
Soon.
Am I going to this?
You better be.
I
am now.
That's insane.
Yeah.
It's pretty wild.
Yeah.
What a very quick ascension to.
Oh, it was crazy.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's, well, I'm boggled. Oh, but what is it like being an actor in Toronto? Is it fun?
It is fun.
I'm like, what's that life like?
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, I did a lot of really incredible contracts, and I worked for a company a lot called Drayton Entertainment, which is actually their theaters in Grand Bend and St. Jacobs and Penetang and whatever, which is also great because then in the summer you're just on the beach for the summer pretending to work.
Sounds lovely.
Yeah. And then I did I've only done 2 contracts. Emily worked way more consistently in Toronto than I did, in the city itself. Mm-hmm. I did Evil Dead for a long time in Toronto for 8 months.
Oh,
I was talking about that with Al this morning from Cool 100.
Really
he was like,
fun.
I went to see Evil Dead and I was in the splatter zone.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a very fun show, like so ridiculous. And then similar, like the same people did Cannibal the Musical, which is Trey Parker and Matt Stone's first show. So we did the Canadian premiere of that in 2015, I think. So like it's really fun being able to work in the city. And then I toured, like for a long time, I toured as a Doodle Bop on the CBC Kids show.
Stop it.
Yeah.
What's a doodle bop? I need to.
That was my
It's my casual
I
claim
watched
to
this
fame.
with I watched it with my daughter. Katie
Yeah.
just Googled it.
I just Googled it.
I'm the blue
What?
one. There were two different casts. So there was the original cast, and then I took over in 2015 and did it for like 5 years. Yeah, it's wild.
You were blue.
I was blue, yeah.
Rooney Doodle.
Rooney Doodle, yeah.
Amazing.
So
went,
that
like-
was on TV, or that was like.
No, we did like the live tour. So we went all over North America. We did Mardi Gras. We did a SeaWorld tour. We did like Roy Thompson Hall and the fucking. Sorry, can we swear? I just
Yeah,
swore
you can
cut
swear
it
a lot.
out. Great. We played the Staples Center in LA beside Justin Bieber. Like
Yeah, that's wild.
yeah, like it was actually insane.
Doodle
It was
Bops and
insane.
Justin Bieber.
Yeah.
Is
New
this
club.
you?
Yeah,
Or is that the
that is
old-
me. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
This brings me so much joy. Because would you feel like to me this is like the equivalent maybe of the Wiggles?
Yeah, very similar.
Yeah.
So, have you seen the Daddy Wiggle?
Yeah, have you guys?
No.
Do you
There's a
follow
new
the Wiggle?
hot Wiggle.
Oh yeah.
Really?
And he does like TikTok thirst traps.
And then he turns into the Wiggle.
Yeah,
And
he's
moms
like,
Oh, interesting.
love this
Moms
stuff. I don't know
are-
if you guys have kids, but like,
No.
yeah.
Never.
You're like, mm-mm.
No, thank you.
no, thank you.
Not for me.
Hard pass. Hard
Yeah.
pass. I have two.
Tell them the spread. This is my favorite.
Oh, I have a 3-year-old that I mentioned earlier.
Mm-hmm.
I also have a 14-year-old.
Wowza.
How is that?
I said wowza.
I was like, how is that? I don't know. It's fucking. Okay,
She's
sorry.
We love Kate, but she's scary Gen Z. Or what is she Gen Z or is she
Yeah,
something
she's
else?
Gen Z. She's like weird, strangely confident. Because I'm just like a ball of anxiety, and I'm just kind of like, everybody hates me, and she's just kind of like, I don't give a single shit.
She's like, everyone loves me.
And she's like,
for
I don't
her.
care what anyone thinks about me ever. She's like, I'm above this drama. And that's like my
Yeah.
I
Good
love
for
her pieces.
Sorry.
Yeah.
So you were a doodle bop?
Yes.
I'm still just like I feel like
I'm
I need an
starstruck.
autograph.
Shocking.
Like I need the picture printed and autograph that's happened before you leave.
I've got
today.
some in my basement. I'll just send them to you, pre-signed.
Thank you.
Okay, we have to take. I'm trying to think. I'm like, I used to have a Polaroid in the office, and I don't think I still have it.
Oh, we should
I'm
get
like,
that back.
because we have in our office like Polaroids.
Yeah.
And then we have people sign them.
We need to do
Hilarious.
that again.
But I don't think I have the camera here.
That's so
You're
funny.
gonna have to come back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh darn.
So you stopped being a doodle bop in 2020? Right? 5
No,
years?
before that,
Yeah.
those dates were so wrong. 2009 I started.
Oh, okay.
So 2015 is probably when we finished.
I think I definitely went to go see you with my daughter.
You probably did. Where did you go?
I don't know. I can't
Like
remember.
we played literally we did the Empire, we did like
That's
every
so
theater.
Yeah, because my daughter was
Definitely.
born in 2008.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, you
we
probably-
yeah.
That's so
I've seen you
fun.
doodle
There
bop.
you go.
Doodle bop.
Hope it was a good day. You never know.
She's like, no, it's horrible.
She would have known the difference,
Yeah,
and I just
Yeah.
wanted to die the whole time. Like no offense.
And then,
like,
can you
Yeah.
Not for
compete?
me.
Have you
Yeah, fair.
have you
I sure
managed
cannot.
any
I
guess you
productions
can.
near doodle bopping?
I wasn't a doodle. No, I wasn't a doodle bop.
could be. You're pretty enough.
Thank you.
I don't know what that means.
I like it,
It means either.
You
but
can
I'll
edit
take
that
it.
out.
Never.
Yeah, no, I you know what's funny? Yesterday on Facebook, this memory popped up that said it was 10 years since my first day at Soul Pepper, which is a major theater company in Toronto, and is basically where I kind of started my professional career as a stage manager. So yeah, I worked there for 6 years. I did some big shows, but the first one was Angels in America, which was
that
I
a
think
baseball
hands
thing?
down the biggest production I've done to date.
No, it's like it's Tony Kushner wrote it. It's about the AIDS crisis. Like it's not very cheery.
Oh, wow.
But it's this like
yeah, no,
epic
it's not
two-part.
happy.
Yeah.
I was like, it's a baseball movie.
I think that's
Close.
Angels in the Outfield.
Listen, too many angels.
Great film, though.
Great movie, yeah.
But Soul
That's-
Pepper is like the fancy theater in Toronto. Like it's the nicest of the. So they have it's like 3 theaters in one building, and
Yeah.
it's where all the
Where is
fancy people
it?
work.
In
It's in
Toronto.
the Distillery District.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it was so nice. I actually loved working there, except when they started the Christmas market in the Distillery District, and then it was impossible to get to work on time every day.
Yeah, that's fair.
But yeah.
And then were you there until 2020? We're not at that
Yeah.
company, but maybe like in
The last contract I did there was in the fall of 2019.
I guess
so
too,
pretty
COVID
much,
just
yeah.
like screwed over theater real hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, big time. Most people had contract. I mean, not most people. A lot of people had contracts lined up that
Just
had to be
didn't.
canceled, and then there was, everybody lost all of their income for
Yeah.
however many years, and it certainly rocked the industry. But
I was
I
doing
mean-
a show that was supposed to open that
Yeah.
night, like the Friday that
Stop
everything
it.
shut down. Yeah.
What show
And we were
was
like, is
it?
there opening night? Kinky Boots in Cambridge. Yeah.
Oh my
It was so fun.
goodness.
I loved it so much.
And you didn't get to do it?
We did 3 previews, and now they're doing it again this summer. But
Aw.
I couldn't take that much time away.
Have you done Kinky Boots here? Can that be done?
We will do it.
yeah,
eventually.
we hope to someday.
I would die.
Perfect. I would love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do love musical theater. I wasn't in musical theater. I was a stagehand
Good.
Fun.
for Lion Witch in the Wardrobe in my high school.
Oh my God, amazing.
There was like 7 of us, and we had to do one set change. Like they were really, but it got us out of class, and we just be like, "Sorry, I have stage crew. I have to go." Got nothing else going on. So
What high school did you go to?
I was at Albert College.
Oh yeah, fancy.
Yeah.
She fancy.
No one knows me, and I'm like, "That's because I went to Albert College." don't tell anyone. But yeah, I didn't go to class very much because I just was like, "What extracurriculars can I do?" I was in the one act play a couple times.
Oh, that's fun.
I always played the crazy lady. So.
Shocking.
That's fun.
Yeah, once I was a Jewish grandmother, Bubby. Got to do an accent.
Is that problematic?
Yeah, probably, but
Yeah.
it was like 2010, so
High school still got away with a lot of stuff.
They
do.
Yeah.
they do.
Yeah.
But I didn't, because to me, Tweed Co has been around like since, I guess I was kind of a child because it's 2009 and I was in high school. So to me, it's always been around.
Right.
And
Right.
like an option for people to participate in. But
Yeah.
really, it wasn't.
I just like I
Yeah.
really just it's funny because I always like saw it around because I only moved here in 2009. So
Okay.
it's like I just assumed it just was always
That was
here.
our first year.
Yeah.
Really the first year, and I'm just kind of
Yeah.
like, oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
I really love that. And,
Crazy.
yeah.
Yeah.
So did COVID like kind of light the fire for you guys to come back here full time?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I thought I was only coming. I think both of us only thought we were coming home for a couple weeks. I had subletted my apartment in Toronto, or our like my room in our
Yeah.
apartment, to go and do Kinky Boots. So I was like, well, I can't go back to the city. I'll just go home. And I had bought a house here that I was renovating and whatever, blah blah blah. So yeah, and then just never left.
Yep.
Yeah.
Here we
Same
are.
for you?
Yeah. I came back like relatively early pandemic days to just like help my parents
Yeah.
out, and then stayed for a while. And at the time, I was dating somebody in Toronto, so I was like, well, I'm gonna go back to the city, obviously. And I went back for a few months, and then I was like, I can't afford to live here. So then I think it was December of 2020 that I like fully moved back to Stirling and
Do you like it?
haven't left. Yeah, I do. I loved being in Toronto. I love the city so much, but the whole time that I was there, I was like, I miss small town life. So yeah, I always like got excited. I'm sorry, she's taking a video of the
Oh
traffic
yeah,
outside.
no,
It's
I'm
so
not,
funny.
I'm also
She's making content.
I'm making content.
good.
I'm not using
So
any of
funny.
the audio. It's just for a
Imagine
reel
she's just
later.
like, they're boring content.
no, it's gonna be a joke.
Oh, I like that.
I love it.
Yeah, there is something like I didn't live in Toronto that long. I'm like, I was born in Toronto and then we moved here. But anytime I go, I'm like, there's so many people. What's happening?
Yeah.
It's funny, our like opinions, I think, of that kind of shift, like fully flipped a little bit, I think, because I originally was like, so Emily was always like, okay, well, eventually we're going to move back to that area and run these companies full time. And I was like, maybe in like 30 years. Like, I was not ready at all. And then as soon as the pandemic shift kind of happened, I was like, yeah, I'm here now and like feel pretty good about it. Yeah. And I'm like, I've gone back a couple times to like visit. Again, my partner's in Toronto, so whatever. I go back and see him, and I'm like, I hate this. It's awful. Your
Honestly,
crappy little apartment in this busy city.
It's so many people and it's smelly sometimes.
Yeah, honestly.
There's weird smells. I like to go for like the day, but honestly too, I couldn't afford it.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it's hard to afford anywhere right now. And then you go to Toronto and I see my friends. I'm like, how do you do this?
Yeah,
Like,
breakfast costs like $50.
Why?
Yeah.
It's like you're cracking eggs.
Yeah.
And like rent, I just can't.
Yeah.
And then it's just like a little space.
Yeah.
So
Have you seen those like Now articles? And it's like, this is the most expensive apartment in Toronto, and it's like a hole,
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
and it's
They're
like
insane.
a Harry Potter cupboard.
yeah.
And it's like, this is $4,000 a month, and I'm like, what are
Yeah.
you on?
Yeah.
I know why. Yeah.
We got so lucky with our place. Like,
Yeah, our
it was-
apartment in Toronto is incredible.
Yeah, it was
Where were you
a
guys
beautiful size. On Bathurst,
Oh,
in
nice.
between St. Clair and Eglinton.
Oh, that's nice.
yeah,
a
so
nice area.
super nice
Yeah.
area too, and they like never raised the rent and
Beautiful.
Yeah, just,
Yeah.
it
Honestly,
was great.
so shout out to, I love shouting her out because I know she listens. Roadhouse, one of my brother's best friends. That's her nickname, not her real name. But they got
No,
an apartment
really?
like when prices were low, like 3-bedroom, has a living room.
Yeah.
And she's like, her and her husband, like they got married, blah, blah, blah. They're not leaving because they're like, it's too good. We couldn't
Yeah.
afford anywhere else. Like we're locked in here. And I feel like that's how Toronto works at this point.
Yes.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
used to live in Kensington.
Yeah.
I paid $600 for a 2-bedroom apartment.
Oh,
Right above
sick.
an African drum shop.
Was it loud?
Was yes.
People were, okay.
Yes, they used to drum.
Okay.
And I'd be, you could shower and it was like right above. It was great though. I wouldn't trade it for anything.
Okay.
That's fun.
I'm into
yeah.
that.
Trish, our creative director that we were talking about before we started recording, she kept our 3-bedroom apartment because it was
Amazing.
cheaper.
Yeah.
Because she'd been there for so long. It was cheaper to keep the 3-bedroom apartment than move into a 1-bedroom
Yeah.
apartment somewhere
Yeah.
else.
I think it's just, I think
Might
that's
as
what
well,
people do.
yeah.
They just lock it in. They're like,
Yeah.
I'm here now.
Yeah.
And then you get a 3-bedroom apartment. So what's the worst thing?
Yeah.
It could be so much worse.
Tell us about renovating a house. How'd that go?
It was good.
Yeah.
No, just kidding. Yeah, no, it's great. I bought this like total junker in 2016 with my Doodlebot money, and I was like, "Oh, I'll just slowly renovate this over 20 years." There was no timeline, and then I had just done the like structural stuff. I hired people to do the structural things.
Hopefully.
Didn't trust yourself.
Didn't want to tackle that. And then at the beginning of the pandemic, it had just hit the point where I could actually start working on it myself. Like
was kinda perfect.
It was kind of perfect.
But
the
then
foundation had been
every
poured and whatever.
lumber went like skyrocketing.
I think I got in honestly just in time because
nice.
I started the major renovations in March of 2020.
yeah, you're good.
Yeah, so I spent all of the money in the first like 6 months.
Perfect.
So yeah, so like all those windows worked out perfectly for me.
Wow.
And so that's where our office is at that building.
Oh.
Yeah, and then it's like a triplex. There's 2 rental apartments and then the office in the back.
Perfect.
And is that in Tweed? Is the office in Tweed?
Yeah.
That would make
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Silly question.
Well, no.
I was like, maybe it's in Belleville, but that'd be weird. And where's the Marble Arts Theatre in? Is it right in Tweed?
It's like just north of town. It's technically in Actinolite, but it's like
Didn't know that was a place.
yeah, fair. Not many people do, but yeah, it's just outside of town, just north, like right south of Highway 7.
And before you guys got these theaters, were you guys popping up in different places?
Yeah,
Yeah.
which is kind of fun and cool, and we'll probably still keep doing a version of that to some extent because like we still do. So like last year we did Ursa, like brought this show Ursa here and helped develop it. That played at Bon Echo Park and in our venues and at Vanderwater.
I saw them at Vanderwater.
Oh, yeah,
it
sick.
was so good.
That was
They were
cool,
at
eh?
the conservation
Yeah,
night.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was really cool.
Yeah. So like we love that idea. We did a really cool show actually during the pandemic that was like a guided theater show through O'Hara Mills in Madoc. So
Goodness.
Sounds fun.
it was wicked, but it was like we had to cancel 2 sold out shows because of rain. So it's like how do you make money as a traveling theater company?
You don't.
You don't. Yeah. But yeah,
It's like farming.
yeah, exactly. Who does make money? Doctors.
Lawyers?
Yeah, lawyers.
Not
Yeah.
even anymore.
No?
Well, I mean, doctors do make money, obviously, but just the state of healthcare.
Oh, what is
Yeah.
life? What is adulting?
Yeah.
Honestly.
Anyways,
The world's ending.
Do you get
Basically.
to do these cool like outdoor shows because of this location, or is this a thing that happens everywhere?
No, I think that is a big part of it
Yeah.
because, like, again, in Toronto, you'd be dealing with like different bylaws and different
Yeah.
whatever, blah blah blah. And here, like, we had to get permission from the Conservation Authority to do that show at O'Hara Mills,
Yeah.
and obviously to work with them at Vanderwater. And they were like, "Yeah, great," because it's a small town, and
Yeah.
you know, everybody knows each other, and blah blah blah. So I think we are able to do a lot more here. Like, one of our future sites that we've identified for a site-specific show is the whole hamlet of Queensborough. So it's like literally a whole other secret little town just north of Tweed that's like a ghost town, but like coming back to life. So like the show would travel to different places in this town, and you could like, they do festivals where you just walk on the streets
Oh,
there.
that's cool.
Because nobody drives up there. Like, it's just like it's an abandoned place.
sounds like my dream.
Yeah.
I'm gonna move there.
Oh, it's very cool. It's a really beautiful spot. It's yeah.
Is there
Yeah.
farms?
Yeah.
Katie.
I guess that's where I'm going.
You're on it?
Yeah.
Queensborough. I'm Googling it.
Yeah, it's very cool. And they have 2 like little town halls, even though there's only 10 people that live there. And
Wait, is that, it's like north of, oh, I get it. Okay.
yeah,
cool.
it's in the municipality of Tweed still. But like, again, prime example that nowhere else in the province, I mean, there's probably other places, but like very few other places in the province would you be able to just like shut down a town to do a
Yeah.
meandering theater show.
That is so cool.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
I'm
It's just like so charming, and that's
Yeah.
like my vibe right now.
Yeah.
Is like I'm into like the cozy, charming stuff. Like I don't need all the Toronto. Like I love.
Yeah.
I
Toronto.
think cozy charming's like, it's a thing. It's coming in hot right now.
called, like,
because
Yes.
all the city people are coming here to like experience
Yeah.
the small town life. I'm like, hey, you never went to Little Texas. You'll never really experience it.
Did you hear? The Hayloft is doing a karaoke with a live band, so you can go.
Oh,
It's called
fun.
Just Good Enough.
Fun.
It's
Oh.
called Just Good Enough.
That's cool.
And it's like, okay, yeah, I'm like just good enough to sing this song, and the band will play with you as
That's
you sing.
amazing.
I'm
That's
not just
cool.
good enough to sing any song.
There was a, when we were doing Evil Dead, there was a live band karaoke bar in Toronto that we would go every Wednesday night. We went and did live band karaoke.
It's like my
Okay.
jam.
It was on like college somewhere. I don't even remember where it
There was
was.
actually there was a musical theater karaoke like 2 weeks ago.
You guys should do that.
Here?
I know you're so busy already.
It was like a wine bar.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah.
My friend Sonia, she does like home organization and stuff, and she's like an incredible singer. Yeah, she had posted about it, and it was I can't remember where it was, but yeah, musical theater karaoke, and I was like,
Amazing.
this is my dream.
love
I
that.
can't sing at all.
No, but I would,
tone
like,
deaf. But like,
sing some
will I sing in
gravity.
the car?
Yeah.
Will I sing with people?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll sing with you.
Thank you.
What has been your favorite show you've put on so far over all the years?
Good
hard to say.
question. That is hard to say.
I'm going to talk about a bunch.
Go. Ready.
We wrote a show in 2017 for Canada 150 called Hastings Musical that's like just ridiculous stories from Hastings County. So we researched it. Whoops. We researched it at the Belleville Archives, and then like just pulled so there was like a prince that pulled up to Belleville and wouldn't get off of his boat, and everybody was like trying to say hi to him, and he stayed on his boat for like 2 weeks. So there's a song called Not Getting Off the Boat that's just like this ridiculous parody song. And so it's all just like dumb stuff like that. There was a pirate of the St. Lawrence when
love that.
the county was first founded. Yeah. And it's like a song cycle basically. So it's just 2 hours of music that was written by 11 different writers from, again, across Canada that, yeah, just wrote this incredible show. So we've done that a couple times, and it always did really well. We did it at the Empire, actually, and it like did crazy well.
I remember seeing it, but then being like, I have no idea, and I don't
Yeah.
have the brain capacity.
Yeah.
What's happening?
Yeah. And then like last year, I mean, recent memory is always going to be stronger. We did a show called Ride the Cyclone, which has like been on my bucket list for years. And so the rights had never been available before. They finally became available last year. So we did it, and it was just such a beautiful show, and the people were amazing. And yeah. that's
So
one
you
of my
have to get
favorites.
like the rights to be able to do a certain shows places.
Yeah, and like a lot of shows, I think people often don't realize this. Like Phantom of the Opera, Lion King, whatever, you can't do those shows yet. Like the rights are just still not available to do those shows.
Wow.
So
Oh.
and yeah, like Mamma Mia became available very recently, which is why everybody's all of a sudden doing Mamma Mia.
I didn't realize.
Yeah.
It makes sense. Like, you
Yeah.
can't just.
Yeah.
This all checks out now.
So often we get a show like Ride the Cyclone that we're like, oh, that's so cool. We're like we were the Canadian regional premiere of that show, and
Really?
nobody gives a shit because people have no
Nobody saw
idea.
it. Yeah.
Well, like people just don't know, right? That it's
Yeah.
like that big of a deal that it's happening in Tweed. And,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was
Tell
like our
this-
favorite.
Okay, yeah. So
Yeah.
when you guys get stoked about these
Yeah,
things,
tell
like
us.
tell us.
Okay, I want to get
Because we're
stoked.
stoked
Yeah.
about, I'm stoked when other people are stoked about things that they're
Yeah.
passionate about. And I just kind of like feed off that.
Same.
And
Yeah.
I'm like, I want to be a part of all of it.
And that
Yeah.
because you do too, like people, they write the shows and then you put those on. How does? But you get writers from all over Canada. It's not just in-house writing.
Yeah, we do a bit of both.
Yeah. I would say, like in the past, it's largely been in-house writing. You know, because we used to have more time for that, but we obviously are a bit busy these days. So, yeah, we've been commissioning other people to write stuff for
okay.
us, or other people will come to us with ideas of shows that they want to write, and then we produce it.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And what does producing it do? Like, how do you do that? What is that? Tell me more.
I mean, we would like pay the cast and for rehearsal time and provide the space, the venue for
I have
the
another
whole
dumb
production.
question. If people are in your productions, they get paid?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shit.
Whoa.
Yeah, we're a professional theater company, so excuse me. So most of our actors are like coming from Toronto or coming from wherever, and then we do now, which is like one of the things we're most excited and passionate about, is that for like the big shows in Bancroft, we also have local cast. They get an honorarium, so like not the same scale as the professional union people. But like we're able to nurture local talent too, and like eventually,
that's so
hopefully,
nice.
yeah, get those people
I
on the
love
same
that.
level. Yeah, it's really cool. It's a lot of fun.
And is that just in Bancroft, or that's also at the Tweed Theatre?
We're trying in Tweed too, but
Yeah.
the
Not as many actors?
there's not as many actors
right,
yet.
okay.
Yeah.
But Bancroft has more.
Bancroft has a huge theater
That's
scene.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because there were like before we took over, like before the last group even took over, there used to be like 3 or 4 community theaters in Bancroft.
Oh.
So like all these different pockets of people that were amateur actors, and some of them very, very good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go Bancroft.
Go Bancroft.
Who knew?
That's so sneaky.
Bancroft is bigger than people realize.
It
I
is,
think.
yeah.
Yeah.
It is. And I feel like people are moving there now for
Oh, yeah,
some
for sure.
reason.
Oh yeah.
I don't even know where Bancroft is.
Like Madoc and then go an hour north.
Yeah, keep
Yeah.
going.
More north than Madoc.
Keep
Yeah.
on going.
Yeah.
They have a
Yeah.
place you can go. It's like a mine, I think, and you can like get rocks.
Oh,
and you
I have
like
rocks
shimmy
from
the
there.
rocks.
That's
You like
like
mine
that's
the
very
rocks
Timmins.
in the water. Yeah.
I'm from Timmins, and we used to do this as like a thing, like
Right,
a field
yeah.
trip. We used to just shake the rocks in the water, looking for gold. Did we find any? No.
No. What a time. What a time to be
time.
alive.
So, okay, can you tell us about your, what is it, the Creation Incubator Residency?
What's that?
It sounds
Yeah.
fancy.
We already I brushed on a component of that a little bit with like Ursa. So Ursa was the show that we did through that program last year. So basically, we have a portal on our website where people can apply if they've written a musical, or if they're like, hey, I have this crazy idea for a rave musical, I want to come work on it for a week in Tweed. Then
Amazing.
yeah, we pay them to come and work. We've done very few of these. A, because I just completed the office renovation,
Yeah.
and B, because there was a global pandemic, annoyingly. So we did one virtually during the pandemic, and then we did our first in-person one with Ursa. And then, yeah, the idea is that people will come and spend a week with us, and we'll help them develop their idea, whether that means they have a full show at the end of that time, or just a further fleshed out idea that they can go away and work on. Yeah.
Jumping off point. So you're just
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
creatively consulting.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah,
that's very
And-
cool.
And giving people, it's hard for artists in Canada often to take a week and work on their show because they have to be working their bar job, or they have to be whatever. So it gives them the opportunity to actually financially take a week and
Yeah.
develop a show.
That is so cool. I think that there's just like, especially with the arts, there's just like, it's just not appreciated as much as it should be, especially like in schools and all these things, like, and then, you know, when have all these great ideas, it's like, okay, so like now what do I do with them? And it's like to navigate the whole politics and all of it is like just like
Yeah.
exhausting and overwhelming.
And and those opportunities don't exist really on a smaller scale. There's
Yeah.
a couple of big, like Sheridan College. I think they canceled theirs even. They used to have a big development program that they would hire people to come and write a bunch of original shows each year. But yeah, for like just a random it's always the same people in Toronto that are given those opportunities.
Yeah.
There's a group of 4 to 6 writers that write every show
Oh, really?
and get all the money to do so.
Yeah.
Oh.
I hope none of them are
Very
listening.
clicky.
Yeah, very
Sorry,
clicky.
we're not that big.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. So it's hard for new writers, especially. Well, like Stephen is a prime example. This guy Stephen Ingram, who's an incredible composer, he first appeared with us in Alec Bell in 2018, and then he was one of the team of 3 that did the pandemic writers incubation, and now he's the resident composer at Theatre Aquarius in Hamilton this
Amazing.
year, further developing 2 of his shows. So
Amazing.
those opportunities for new artists don't exist. You have to have something on your resume. So I think for a lot of people will be the jumping off point, and then they can go and further leverage that.
That's cool. It's like you're giving them the foot into the
It's
Yeah.
also
foot in the
just
door.
so nice it's happening in Tweed of all
Totally,
places.
yeah.
And Tweed's so charming.
It
It
is.
is, yeah.
I really wanted to buy like the old prison one up for sale, like that house, and I was like, I want to buy that.
Old prison,
The little
convent?
jailhouse?
Yeah, the little, I don't know. There was something for sale, and it
convent?
said it was a jail. Maybe it was a
Oh.
convent.
It might have been the convent, but
Okay.
Scott McGilvery bought it, so he's renovating it now.
Cool.
I've
Yeah.
met him.
Yeah, he's a big deal.
He follows me on Twitter.
Yeah, cool.
I don't know who he is.
He's one of those
Oh,
like HGTV guys.
Oh,
I keep getting his
yeah.
ads. It's like, do you want to invest in property?
Yeah,
Give
totally.
me $10,000.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
maybe.
okay.
Should I?
Yeah, they're obviously making some big push out here because he's working with a Belleville lawyer, Jeffrey Murray,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
And they're like
Think.
investing in a bunch of properties around here. And
Yeah.
something's going on.
Interesting.
Something's
Yeah.
happening.
Something
out
is
here.
happening.
going
And
on.
Come
Sarah
renovate our
Richardson, too.
theaters if you're listening.
Yeah.
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 Do the theaters still need a lot of renovation, or are they kind of like chilling?
We're making really
need
good
some-
progress.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
We,
like-
we've done a lot. Like Tim just built brand new bathrooms in Bancroft, which
Last
has
year.
improved.
You're very handy.
He's very handy.
Thank you.
Yeah, it has
Are
fully
you
like
like a YouTube handyman?
100%. I say YouTube University.
Yeah.
I built my
Yeah.
entire house on YouTube. I had like
nice.
experience and whatever power tools and things prior to that.
Yeah.
But every day I would be like, what am I working on today? Drywall? Watch 2 hours of YouTube.
Yeah.
Go drywall the house. Sorry. Finish with
no,
that.
no, no. I was just gonna say it has improved the building like tenfold and made it far more usable. We turned like the bathrooms used to be backstage, so the patrons had to go
Oh.
backstage where the actors were
So
in their
That's
dressing rooms.
uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, he got rid of like 2 of the backstage washrooms and turned them into another dressing room. So
Wow.
that's obviously
Amazing.
far better for us. And yeah, but then the accessibility component as well we need to work on. So we have plans to put in an elevator there,
nice.
which is exciting. And then in Tweed, we're doing all kinds of. We have big plans in
Yeah.
Tweed.
We're about.
Can you tell us about your big plans?
Yeah.
Yeah, we just
Yes.
launched a capital campaign last weekend
Okay.
and announced our big addition. So we're building a 2,000 square foot addition onto the Marble Arts Center. So the first phase is entirely funded for the foundation, et cetera. And then we have a commitment from Canada Cultural Spaces Fund to fund 50% of the project through its life. So it's like a glass atrium that will be our new lobby.
And this is gonna be in Tweed.
In Tweed,
Yeah.
yeah. It'll be
Amazing.
stunning. Yeah, it will make it just like one of the coolest venues
I
in
get
Hastings
married
County.
there?
Yeah, absolutely. Like that's the
Yes.
thing.
Yeah.
Is that we were like, where do you get married or
In
like
Tweed.
have a birthday party
Yeah.
for more than 50 people or anything in Tweed? There's just like not a great venue.
You guys are bringing so much to Tweed that I think
Yes.
I
You're making Tweed
personally
cool.
didn't realize. Like,
Right.
yeah, I feel like too, it's like biased, but I like, you know, when my partner and I are starting to look for houses and like I'll bring up Tweed and then people are like, why? There's nothing in
Yeah.
Tweed, you know? So it's
Yeah.
like
But
you're
there
putting,
is.
yeah, like, I feel like it's on the map now.
Yeah.
There isn't, but then it's like you bring in the arts and then everything else starts developing around it.
Yeah.
1,000%.
Yeah.
And
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
people undervalue it. It's like, oh, well, but it's like, no, listen, you do the cool things, and it's like people want to spend time there.
Yeah.
And then it helps everybody. Like it helps all the shops, the restaurants, all these other things,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
accommodations, like it all. It's a big circle effect.
100%.
People understood that.
And like that's exactly what you just described is what's starting to happen in Tweed. People are starting to invest there, and there's some cool things that we've been like secretly told about that are happening that I think Tweed is going to look like a nope. Tweed is going to look like a totally different place in
that's really
5 years'
cool.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you guys always had the youth programs? I'm looking at
No,
the fabulous.
Oh.
booklet
Last year
you
was our
brought me.
first year.
How did it go?
So well.
Yeah.
The camps, I mean, they sold out in Bancroft like almost immediately. And yeah, did incredibly well in Tweed too. And that was like, that's something that we've always wanted to do because like I said, like we met in the Young Company program in Stirling and that obviously really shaped, I mean, our careers and our lives. It had a huge impact on us. And, so yeah, to be able to offer those opportunities now to kids in the Tweed area and Bancroft area it's a game changer. And yeah, it's really meaningful and rewarding. Yeah.
Well, I
so
think
cool.
it's hard because I don't know. Do elementary schools put on a lot of theater productions? Is that a thing?
Kate did The Lion King.
They weren't supposed to.
Yeah.
Well, she was in like the 6th grade, so this was.
I feel like you still need rights.
3
I've
years
learned
ago.
that. Right
No, they
now.
got
whatever,
them.
who
It was like,
cares?
I mean, it's
It's a
an
child.
elementary
junior
school.
version.
There are junior
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
a definite. It was like definitely like Lion King Junior.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Imagine they put on the full production.
No. Amazing. I'd go see it.
Yeah,
And honestly, it was actually pretty good. Like it was, they were great.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, you can see, and it's like to see that, like especially with kids, you can kind of just like see, like the confidence boost that they get when
Yes.
they're like, it's like, oh yeah, they're, applauding me, and like all these things. You just like you see them kind of like just, what's the word I'm looking for?
Come out of their
Blossoming.
shell.
Yeah.
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 I think
that's
theater
really
has
cool.
a lot of like for kids. It kind of builds confidence and
Absolutely.
helps
Yeah.
you overcome a lot of scary things.
Yeah. Like we don't expect or even encourage that any or all of these kids will go into the arts professionally.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of an insane career choice. But
But it's doable.
It's doable. It's doable. And like I'm sure some of those kids will, which is awesome.
Yes.
But for all of those kids, yeah, it's exactly that. It does so much for public speaking and confidence and like any job it is beneficial to
Yeah.
have that experience and that training in, and just like theater's a safe place for everybody.
Yeah.
So for
Yeah.
so many kids that have been, if they're brought up in a sports background or not that sports is bad, but like,
Sports
It's
is
a
pretty
bit
problematic.
aggressive. It's-
exactly. Yeah.
yeah.
In any background where it's like you have to do this thing to be good or you have to whatever, and theater's like great, everybody's cool. That weird thing you do is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. That it's so beneficial in so many ways.
I think too, because I even look back at high school and it's like if you were an athlete, you were like, it's like all the movies, you're like top of the pecking order, and then like the theater kids, you're like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Why do you do
Yeah.
that? Although I was both, but still.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah, it's like a weird crossover because.
Yeah.
But then my coaches would be like, "No, you can't miss stuff for if you're doing drama," and I'd be like, "But maybe a little bit," and they'd be like, "No," I'd be like, "Okay, you go talk to the drama teacher." But so it's nice you giving the space to, different kids and letting them experience that. Can you tell us about the shows coming out this year? I'm very excited
Yeah.
for Joseph. Not gonna
Yes,
lie.
good. Yes. Everybody is selling like hotcakes.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm gonna buy tickets tonight.
Yeah, great.
Like I need to go.
Yeah. So we again, like even over last year, we added a couple of like big shows because we do a lot of concerts and one night onlys, and people rent the venues, and we produce concerts and stuff.
See, I didn't even realize that.
Yeah.
I feel bad.
Yeah, no, it's okay. Yeah, and then we do our main season of like summer theater, and then a Christmas show. So let's toss back and forth. I'll talk about the first one, and then you can talk about the next one. So our first show in June is a Joni Mitchell review show.
I'm
both
following
sides
along in
now.
my booklet.
Yes, good. Yeah. So it's created by the people that wrote Ursa, actually, that team,
Oh.
and then Trisha Black, who's our creative director. It's a team or a cast of 7 actor musicians, so they all play the instruments live on stage.
Wow.
Cool.
They're exceptional. Like they are so good. Yeah, and it's just like kind of the story of Joni's life and activism, and it's going to be really
She's
awesome.
Incredible.
Yeah, yeah.
So then in July, we're doing Murder at Ackerton Manor, which is a new play. This is the world premiere. It's by Stephen Gallagher, who's an incredible playwright and director and actor in Toronto. It's like a murder. Well, it is a murder mystery. It's an Agatha Christie style play.
Fun.
Yeah.
It's silly.
There's only 3 actors, and they each play like 10 characters or something wild like
fun.
that. That's probably an exaggeration, but they play several characters, and so it's going to be, I think, really fun and crazy, and
And prime example of like, again, it's a big coup that it's world premieres here. His last 2 shows, one premiered at Dream in High Park, which is the Can Stage venue in downtown Toronto, and then the one after that was the National Music Theatre Festival, or the New York Music Theatre Festival.
Damn.
So like, in New
This
York.
is like a big deal.
Huge
Yeah,
deal,
very
huge
big
deal.
deal.
So like very exciting that that's his new show, and
That
he's
is
coming
so
to direct
cool.
it. And then the next thing is in August we're doing Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. Very exciting. Cast of 22 different children's choruses of 6 kids
Holy
each.
crap.
Yeah, it's actually insane.
That's amazing.
That's wild.
That must be chaos.
Oh, it's gonna be
Yeah.
wild. Yeah, Mamma Mia was 20 people last year, and it was. I mean, at that point, we hadn't even finished the dressing room renovations. And it was like,
So I guess you're like a step up from last year.
we're always
You're
a
doing
constant
great.
improvement.
Yep.
Constant improvement. Yeah.
That's what we are too.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Constant growth and
That's all you can
improvement.
do. It's all you
Yeah,
can
I
do.
mean,
that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but obviously that show is so fun. It'll be beautiful sets and costumes, and we're super excited. It's a largely professional cast, but then there are, I think, 6 or 7 local talent people in there, which
so
are
cool.
amazing. And
See, I didn't realize that you guys actually got like professionals.
Yeah, I
to
didn't
come
realize
in.
that either.
I thought it was all just like local people like doing their thing.
right.
But I'm like, wait, do I love this? Like, I
Yeah.
love this.
Oh, it's legit.
Yeah.
Like people, and then so I think like Mamma Mia being the prime example. Last year, people came to Bancroft and were like, "What the heck?" Because I think a lot of people did assume that, and then you go and we had 3 of the original Mamma Mia cast members from the Mervish production in
Are
Toronto.
you kidding me?
Yeah,
I
so
think
it's
that's
like
the thing I had no like
Right.
No
so
idea.
naive. Like I just
Yeah.
was like they're a local theater company.
Yeah.
Like I didn't know
Right.
what this episode was going to be like.
Yeah.
I'm like I don't know.
Yeah, we
Let's
walked in.
dive in.
Yeah.
Literally, we're sitting there. And I'm just like, I have no idea what to expect here. And she's like, neither do I. Let's go. And I was like, great. And I was like, hi, I'm Kay.
Yeah,
yeah. No, we're super cool.
you are super. I'm like, I want to be best friends.
Yeah.
Like, holy.
And so then so people are like consistently blown away by
Yeah.
obviously what they're seeing, because it's the same. You're paying $35 for your ticket, but it's the same actors and the
Yeah.
same costumes and the same whatever that you would see at the $100 theater.
And you're in like
Toronto.
rural Ontario. It's great.
Yeah.
And it's like a whole date night.
Yeah, totally.
I feel like that's a
Absolutely.
solid date night.
Absolutely. Bancroft especially, like Tweed's obviously amazing, but Bancroft, we have the luxury of being right downtown where there
Oh,
are
okay.
3 restaurants in walking distance.
Perfect.
Who all sponsor the theater and like are
Oh, wow.
great. And yeah.
And then what's Miss Caledonia?
Oh yeah, Miss Caledonia. That's happening in September in Tweed. It's a one-woman show featuring Janelle Hanna, who's actually from Belleville. So she's a professional actor in Toronto, and she's coming back to do this show. And it's like you might give a better description of the show itself than I would.
Yes.
But it's like about it's
Do you want me to
rural
read the
country.
description?
Yes, go for it.
Miss Caledonia follows a small town girl with big dreams of the lively city. And I can't read that
Lustrous.
word. Lustrous allure for fame. I feel like that's her story, and now she's coming back to Tweed.
It is
Oh,
Janelle.
yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah, she basically like works her way up through the pageant circuit because she wants to be famous. So she's like Miss Queen of the Furrow, Miss Potato, Miss whatever. It's very sweet. It's a fun show.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And then I also didn't realize you do winter stuff. And October, what's Sleepy? Oh, it's Sleepy Hollow. That's like a thing.
Yeah. So that one's cool. It'll be the first since we took over Bancroft. Like I said, there used to be a bunch of like vibrant community theaters there. And we're like huge fans, obviously, of community theater too. Like
Yeah,
I
course.
did the lighting for Mamma Mia for Belleville Theatre Guild last year, and we've
Very
been
cool.
we work with them a lot and whatever. So Sleepy Hollow will be an entirely local cast, and we're all creating the show together. Like I'm writing a
That's
base
so
script, or we're
fun.
creating a base script, and then we're
Wow.
like getting input from the actors, and so it'll be a similar thing. Everybody will play multiple roles, and
That's really cool.
yeah, it's gonna be a blast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so the Lion of Oz.
Yes.
It says it's a new panto for the whole family.
Yeah.
What's a panto?
What is a panto?
It's like a like kind of a spoof / retelling of a classic fairy tale.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, so we're doing a retelling of The Wizard of Oz from the Lion's kind of perspective.
So like Wicked.
So much anxiety.
Yeah, we're doing Wicked. We just couldn't get the rights.
Oh my gosh, Wicked.
So Wicked, but with the lion instead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trish is writing that show, and she likes to say it's like it's a show about courage.
Yes.
Like that's going to be the idea. Our pantos. So panto is a tradition that came from England, and it's like it's exactly that. It's just spoofing a popular fairy tale or a popular story with current pop rock music throughout.
Oh my gosh.
Last year we did Cinderella. What's important for us in doing these pantos is that again, we can continue to encourage that our spaces are spaces that are safe and happy for everyone. So they're very progressive. Like Cinderella was largely a story about being queer and being yourself and being fabulous and all those things.
I didn't even see that.
Yeah, you should have.
Cry.
Yeah, I'm like, no podcast tears today.
Yeah. And so Lion of Oz similarly is about the lion's journey with anxiety and, the mental health and all those things.
It's a story about me.
Yeah. And becoming courageous and
That's so sweet.
yeah.
I think that's like so powerful too. Like I've had anxiety like my whole life, but didn't really know what it was until literally like 5 years ago. So to be able to like take, like if I were to take my kids to something like this to help them kind of like be able to navigate
Totally.
and like see it in a different light, I think is just like so powerful
Yeah.
and like so cool.
Yeah.
Also, are
So
you
I appreciate
encouraging people to have their holiday parties at the Lion of Oz? Because
Yeah.
I
Yes,
love
we
that
desperately
idea.
want to do that.
Yeah.
Is our Christmas
Yes.
party going to be there?
I
now?
think
Yeah, we gotta do
maybe,
it.
Yeah.
Yes,
That'd be so
yes.
funny.
Maybe our audition will be finished. It won't.
No, it won't be finished, but
Can we actually do that?
Yeah, let's talk to
Yeah,
her.
dude, it's fun. We'll give you a great group deal.
Okay,
Yes.
cool.
We'll
We
text
love a
Martha.
group deal.
fun.
Great.
Yeah, text her. Like,
Text Martha. Martha, this is what we're doing.
Also, you guys have won some crazy awards. Like,
This year
I don't even
especially.
think I could look them. Like, I was trying to look them all up, but
Yeah.
there was a lot.
Bunch.
Yeah.
There's a few.
Can you give us
Yeah.
a quick rundown if you remember of the ones you remember?
Yes.
Give them
The
all.
two, like, the coolest ones probably are that for the second time ever, we were named in 2022 as one of the top 100 festival events in Ontario.
That's
So that's
insane.
the whole
So cool.
province. Yeah, we went to Niagara Falls. We went to the fancy banquet.
Yeah.
We had a nice dinner. And
Do
the
you get to
only
like go up and speak and like have like a
No.
whole
No.
but we got to do the step and repeat, the like picture
Yeah.
thing,
Oh,
which
that's
is fun.
cool.
But the only other theater company in the province to be named was the Stratford Festival.
What?
So it's
Holy
like us
shit.
and
Yeah.
Stratford last year. Yeah.
Yeah, and Stratford's like, I mean,
kind of a-
Stratford.
A giant deal.
Yeah.
With a $50 million budget.
Yeah, but like
Yeah.
Like we used to.
you guys are building that though. Like
Totally.
you're gonna get to
Stratford
that
East.
$50 million.
Yeah, that's, what,
like,
that's the goal.
I
Yeah.
mean, I
Yeah.
can see it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's so
I see the
cool.
vision.
Thank
We're
you.
here for the
Thank you.
vision. Yeah.
Yes.
And then we were honored with the Quinte Arts Council Arts Recognition Award last year.
That's
one
amazing.
one
They're
of
great there.
They're so lovely. They're fantastic. And then we won 8 Broadway World Awards last year for various things.
I think
8
that's
of
the
them.
one
Yeah.
I was on, and I
Holy
was like,
shit.
I don't know how to round this up.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
there's
Fair.
a lot.
I know.
So we'll
'cause we-
share the link in our show.
Yeah, great. We had 27 nominations, and like a lot of them were like the category would be 4 nominees from Tweed Co, and then 2 other
Yes.
people or whatever.
That's like
So yeah,
Even to be
says a lot.
nominated,
yeah.
Yeah.
like alongside like some of these places, I just think
Totally.
is like so incredible.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, last year was so overwhelming because there are like we won the Madoc Chamber of Commerce Audience Choice. The last 2 years in a row we were named the Community Votes Belleville top theater company in the region, which again is like.
Yeah.
There's some heavy hitters around us
Yeah.
and people doing incredible work that we work very closely with and are
Yeah.
amazing. But it's just again, it's overwhelming in the best way. And yeah,
Well, you guys are doing good things.
thanks.
Thank you.
I've learned
trying.
so much. That's
Great.
the one thing with this podcast is like, I think I know things about people, and then we have them on, and I'm like, what?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I think my favorite thing is knowing nothing about something.
Yeah.
And then
Right.
talking to people about what they're passionate about, because I'm feeding off of
Right.
your energy, and I'm just kind of like, I love what you're doing.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. It really, we love what you're doing as well. Like it
thank
really
you.
is so.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I don't think either of us were super aware of the podcast until we started looking into it. But then in my few days of listening, the last like week or so, I was like literally constantly just taking notes on my phone. I was like, what is this non-alcoholic
Yeah.
drink we could be serving at the venues?
Yeah.
Like, what is this local
Hook you up.
thing? Yeah, great.
I think too that's
yeah.
something it's done is like we meet people through other people. Like, so
Yeah.
because I think Trisha reached out to us and was like, I'm with Tweed Co. And we were like,
Yeah.
okay. And I had no idea what to expect.
Yeah.
This was
Right,
like
right.
awesome. But yeah, like meeting people and they're like, oh, you should have this person on. And
Right.
then we find out like other people doing the craziest, coolest stuff in like Little Belleville and Tweed and,
Yeah.
and
Like
like
the Bay
there's a
of Quinte
lot
area.
going on
Yeah.
here.
There's so much talent here,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
like, I mean, you guys are doing an awesome job of
Well, we just have
highlighting what
Yeah.
people
The platform.
are doing. Like,
Yeah,
We just have the recording
platform,
equipment and the
Yeah.
ability to push it, the
Yeah.
audience.
But
that's
it's
what
like,
people need, right? They
Yeah.
need that platform to get the word out.
it's
That's what we're
hitting a
trying to do.
new demographic. It's hitting
Yeah.
a demographic
Yeah.
that is
Millennials.
different than the radio. Exactly.
Yeah.
It's different from the newspaper. It's different from whatever. Yeah.
That's what we're trying to do here at
That's the
Starboard.
goal.
Hit all the demographics.
We love Starboard.
We love
Yes, we do.
Starboard.
We have been faithful advertisers for years
you.
with Starboard
We love
Communication.
that.
We love Starboard.
You have a great sales rep.
Yeah, you do have a good
But,
rep.
Sandy?
Yeah, we love
Sandy.
Sandy.
Yeah.
She's great.
She's awesome.
She's amazing.
Honestly, yeah. Again, if you're gonna cut it out, she like dealing with Sandy over dealing with the other, like any of the like Kingston, etc.
Yeah.
She's by far the best.
Oh, I'm leaving that in.
She's
Yeah.
like every you eat 2 minutes after you email her,
Yeah.
she's back.
Yeah.
She's
It's
on it.
great.
Yeah.
Holiday, she don't care.
No, she doesn't.
She literally last week was like, I'm on holidays, but you can still email me.
Yeah,
I was like, I'm not going to email you, Sandy. I'm like, I'll see
You're
you
cut
in
off.
emails, but I'm cutting you off.
So funny. Besides all the things we talked about, do you have any other shout outs you want to give before we wrap up?
Thing.
I'm going to shout out that if you book a season pass, you get 15% off.
Oh yeah,
Is that
good one.
correct?
Yes.
Okay.
That's great.
Yep.
And you have some Pride stuff going on?
Oh yeah, yeah. We haven't announced those shows yet, but we're
Okay.
bringing 6 queens and 2 queer musicians to play both venues.
My favorite.
Yeah.
I'm like, the gays are here.
Yeah,
I love the
I
gays.
love that.
yeah. There's like an insane gay community in Tweed because the
Really?
Riverside Campground is just north of Tweed,
Oh.
and yeah,
And
yeah,
it's really
funny.
gay?
What?
It's gay?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a gay campground. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, but they're great. There's like a big and Bancroft too. It's like Maynooth has a huge queer community. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like basically
You
a
would
little
think
gay
that
village.
like all these little communities have not
Don't
don't
you?
have
But
Pride.
they are
Yeah.
like,
They are.
yeah.
But I am very pleasantly surprised.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're still just so quiet. I think because it's such a conservative riding,
Yeah.
and there's fear
Yes.
and whatever. Yeah, but we did our Pride events last year. I mean, I have no qualms about deleting rude Facebook comments, but otherwise,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, someone's always gonna
Great.
comment.
Yeah.
Like,
Yes.
Yeah.
it is nice seeing how Belleville and like surrounding areas have kind of stepped up. I'm gonna shut it down. That was great. Thank you.
Oh
We'll
wait,
share
no, I
all
have
of
one more
it.
question. I want to know your all-time favorite musical ever
Oh,
in the
yeah.
history
whoa,
of ever.
good one.
Mine is Wicked.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
it's
I
so
love
good.
it so
Are you
much.
excited for the Ariana Grande?
I don't know anything about it.
The movie.
Okay, they're doing a
Oh,
movie.
the movie.
And
Yeah, I didn't realize it was Ariana Grande.
Yeah,
Interesting.
Cynthia Erivo.
she's like
Cool,
freaking
great.
out, and she's been like talking to Kristen Chenoweth about like just embodying like her version of
Yeah.
like
Oh,
and
wow.
like making her own. I'm so freaking excited.
That's gonna be
That's
fire.
awesome. Yeah.
I also just think Ariana Grande is like way underrated
Yeah.
because her voice is beautiful.
It is.
It
It's
is.
wild what she can do.
Yeah.
It's like stupid. Anyways, I'm a fangirl.
It might be Kinky Boots. I love Kinky
I
Boots
still
so
haven't
much.
seen it.
I saw it on Broadway with the original
Oh,
cast, and
wow.
it
That's
was
very
incredible.
cool.
And it's just such a beautiful. Again, it's like the whole entire message is love and acceptance, and like
Yeah.
they're in a factory, right?
Yeah.
And the
Yeah.
whole point is, why do you care what anybody else is doing with your life? Like, just love everybody and
Yeah.
be
Okay.
supportive, and yeah,
It's a great show.
yeah. Or if not, The Lion
Into it.
King. I love
Yeah,
The Lion King.
You
The Lion King.
love the
I
Lion
friggin'
King.
love The Lion King.
It's so good.
Beautiful. Like
so
I saw
good.
it. What was it? Was it like Princess Margaret Theater?
Princess
Whatever.
of Wales. Yeah.
The one that's closed though.
Oh. What?
It used
in Toronto?
to. Yeah.
No, it was at the Princess of Wales. They were gonna close it, and then they didn't.
Oh, they
close
did it.
Oh.
Okay, well, yeah, that's where
Yeah.
I saw it. I was
Yeah.
in the 8th grade, and we had the worst nosebleed seats, but
Oh.
it was beautiful from like, even from nosebleeds, like
Yeah.
Yeah.
stunning.
It
like,
is.
oh,
I think
my
that was
God.
the
Hold
first
up.
musical I saw like in person in
Yeah.
Toronto.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
mind blown.
Yeah. it's
Do you
incredible.
two have favorite musicals? we're planning for next
Can't be Lion King,
year.
can't be Wicked.
Honestly, I love musicals. I saw Come From Away in Toronto.
Oh, so
and
good,
like
right?
Yeah.
so I love that it was one act, like such a fun like new theater. Like I just
Yeah.
loved all the I guess like all time, I think Mamma Mia, which is like
Yeah.
super basic.
No, it's
fun.
great. It's
Yeah.
so fun.
Yeah. Kay's still thinking.
It's a really hard question.
It is,
I know.
Yeah.
Oh wait,
It was
no,
your
I changed
question.
my
I
mind.
know, that's the worst part.
No, I changed my mind. Hair. Sorry.
Oh, fun.
Hair?
I
Yes,
saw Hair
good.
on Broadway in New York,
Yeah.
and when everyone got naked, I was
Yeah.
like, I
Good.
like this. This is fun. Yeah.
It is fun. It's a great show.
Yeah.
That movie's incredible.
So good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like from the 70s, but it holds up
Yeah.
so good.
I think
Yeah.
because after I saw it for Christmas that year, my parents got me the like movie version.
Yeah.
And
Nice.
I watched it a lot. So
So relevant, too. Like, it could not be more relevant. You could do it today, and people would be like, did you just write this?
yeah.
Yeah.
She's still thinking.
Yeah.
I think it's got to be The King and I.
Oh, that's
It's
nice.
just like
Classic.
it's just like my heart. Like
Yeah.
that's where it is.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so sweet.
I just
Okay.
think it's so pretty,
That's a
Love it.
good one.
beautiful, and it's just a great story.
Okay, I'm shutting her down.
Cool.
Thank you.
That was amazing. So good.
So good.
Like the fact that Tim was a doodle bop. I showed my whole family this weekend. I was like, guess what? This guy was a doodle bop.
Honestly, I think he's like the coolest person.
So fun. They're both so fun.
Honestly, they're just like the vibes perfect.
And what they're doing.
Amazing. I love the arts. I love, which is shocking that I'd never actually looked into what they were doing.
I think I just assumed, which is, I do that a lot. Like, you know, when you're not super into not that I'm not into it, but I don't go to a lot of theater, and I'm not in Tweed that often. So
Yeah.
I just, I've in the past put up like calendar events for Tweed Co, and I always just assumed it was like a community theater
Yeah.
because I didn't know what else it would be.
For me, it was like, I'm like getting through the hump of life where I realize I don't have to have somebody come with me to everything. And I'm like, you know what? If I want to go, I'm just going to go.
Yeah.
So I'm probably just going to go. And they actually emailed us this morning.
Did they?
Yeah. So their Joni Mitchell show, Both Sides Now.
Yeah.
They released the cast.
I saw them starting to release.
So they started posting about the cast, and that cast is stacked.
Here's the thing, and you learned it in the episode, is like they have actors coming from Toronto to do these.
Yeah.
It's not just like little local, not little, but it's not just local people. It's like actors who have maybe done shows in Toronto, and like it's their job. That's what I didn't know, and that they get paid. That's crazy.
Yeah. So one of them is Faye, and she graduated from Sheridan from musical theater, which I think is super cool. Cassie is a multidisciplinary deaf-disabled theater artist, which I thought was amazing. Jacob looks like my kind of people.
Can I see him? Yeah, he does.
They were in James and the Giant Peach,
Oh, cool.
which I love, and is totally like, I can just see the joy in how much they love doing this. Yeah, Fabulous and Cinderella. Anyways, and then Summer is an electric bassist,
That's
an
cool.
improviser, composer, and educator. And I was like, how do I become best friends with all of you?
I think
And
we just hang out with Tim and Emily more.
Elizabeth was, her first role was Mother Abbess in The Sound of Music. Mm-hmm. And she just looks like a sweet mama. So I'm like, I just think that, honestly, I think they're doing great things, and I want to go see this Joni Mitchell show.
I think you should.
Yeah, so if anybody wants to come with me, you're welcome to, but I'm going to be there regardless. So
Honestly, Jeanette might go with you.
Sick.
She loves Joni Mitchell,
fuck yes.
of course.
Love
you guys
it.
can go on a date.
Yes.
I'll come, maybe.
No, I'm taking your girlfriend
Yeah,
on a
when
date.
you guys go on a date, I'll watch the dogs.
I'll take her for dinner too.
Oh, come on. She already loves you so much. You're just going to win her over. Damn it. So, yeah, you can check them out. Everything is linked in our show notes, obviously.
What's wrong with me?
I love it. I love it. Everything's linked in our show notes. So, if you want to buy a season tickets just to see what shows are coming up,
Yeah. And they're super affordable.
it is
Which
really
I thought
affordable
was
theater, which
like-
is nice.
really, really cool of them
And
to
I
do.
believe that's one of their mandates is to make theater make it accessible.
Yeah.
And they have kids camp, so if you think you're raising a little theatrical gremlin, send them in. That's why I call children. They're little gremlins.
That's great.
So that's pretty fire. Tonight is Dancing with the Stars. It's here.
Yeah.
Al Lewis.
Al Lewis is performing. Jen is performing from Northern Craft
Yeah, I
Supply.
was like, not Jen McKay.
No, not Jen McKay. Jen from Northern
Beldam.
Craft Supply. Carson
With Carson. Paul Ferguson is the MC.
with Tim Durkin.
So that's exciting. I'll be there with my mom and my aunt.
So if you want to meet Martha,
If you want me and Martha, she'll be there. Congratulations to our winner because we did a little giveaway. So that's that. And then what else do you have to tell me? Because you said in the beginning you had more things to tell me.
that was it.
Oh.
The cast on the
I
cast.
love it.
Yeah. I just wanted to circle everything in because they emailed us this morning a press release.
Oh.
And I was like, oh, okay, well, I'm just going to talk about it on the podcast because their podcast comes out today.
And again, as always, thank you to our sponsors or our partners. Family Dental Center this month. The focus is Invisalign because,
I need to get Invisalign. I need to book my appointment for Invisalign.
yeah.
I'm going to go do it. Maybe
I'm
I'll take you guys
excited.
with us.
Ooh, field trip. And Andrea from Angelic Serendipity. We went in last week. Such a cool store in Trenton.
She has a bird.
She has a parrot. I think her name's Hermione.
Yeah, it is.
Which I love. Very Harry Potter. She gave us little penis
like keychains?
penis keychains, but they're made out of
Stones.
stones.
We all got different stones.
Ones, so the penis would heal us from the power of the stone.
Penis has done the exact opposite of healing in my entire life.
So she's so fun. So if you're ever in Trenton,
Highly recommend.
highly recommend.
The
Or
vibes
like
are good.
you need to get some sage or some crystals or some fun boho pants.
Yeah.
Go check it out.
Honestly, yeah. And there's
And
a dog.
there is our commercials say, in this episode, like our shout outs or whatever, there is a event on June 3rd, so next weekend, and it's the spiritual. It's like the spirit. I'm so bad. I can't. Why do I say things if I don't know the full name? It's the first spiritual event in Trenton.
Oh, yeah, the downtown Trenton thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's I believe it's the full moon. So,
Yeah. That's exciting.
yeah.
I think I kind of want to go.
I think it'd be really, if I was here, I'd go.
Where are you?
I'm in Toronto. It's my grandma and one of my best friend's birthdays.
Oh, cool.
And my brother's officially graduating fire school.
I didn't know that was a thing.
I guess when you become a firefighter, even when you get hired on, like he had to do with Toronto Fire, he had to do like 3 months of more schooling.
Oh.
Which I respect because then they're going into burning buildings and saving people.
I mean, yeah.
Crazy. Sometimes I have nightmares that I'm becoming a firefighter because like Cam's my brother's a firefighter and Jeanette is like trying to get on department. She's volunteer right now, but
Yeah.
she used to be a forest firefighter. I'm like, you're just like
That's
surrounded by fire and you're okay with it.
No.
Not for me. I would panic.
Yeah, no, I would not be okay.
I'd just be like, I'm going to die now.
I would just cry.
Yeah.
Be like, okay, burn me
So
alive.
I'm not a first responder.
Yeah.
But that's really like all I can think of. We have partnerships available if you have.
Yeah, if you want to chat about things, like it doesn't just have to be the podcast.
There's also no pressure. Like if you just have questions.
We're here to answer questions about
marketing. So
because we're kind of good at it.
we try. I have no formal training. Not one
I do
day.
have formal training.
She does. I just have big dreams and hopes.
I will show you my transcript from the classes I'm taking right now.
I know a lot about radio.
Doing real good.
I'm shouting out. She is killing it, and she's doing school. She's being a mom. She's working. She's hustling, and she's pulling like A+ in all her classes.
Yeah, pretty much.
You're killing it. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I was going to do a Katie Stan post for the weekend.
What's that?
It means it was going to just be a whole post about how much I love you.
No, you're not allowed. I'll cry. I have to do it for you. I feel like you do them for me all the time.
Oh, well, I'm going to do it anyways.
Damn it. I'm going to do one for you.
Because I have a picture of you at the Quinny Museum.
Is it me with the bubble gum?
No, it's
Post
you
that one.
sitting on the
Oh, yeah, the dinosaur bone.
log thing.
I love it.
It's really cute.
Thank you. Anything else before I shut her down? We still have some sweaters and
Yeah, that store is coming down because I keep paying for it.
We can't pay for Shopify anymore because we aren't like constantly selling on it. But if you do want it and the Shopify is not up, it's still on.
Just shoot us a DM.
We can e-transfer and everything. So no stressy stress. And we are gonna get more merch.
I think we need a dad hat.
I know we are. I'm gonna look at it today.
Who's next week?
Next week is Eliza. That's a super special episode. So we're actually recording Monday and putting it out the same week because of she hasn't announced
the circumstances.
So
that is a very exciting episode. I am so stoked to see her on Monday.
Yeah,
normally
excited.
I don't like Monday interviews.
I don't love, but for her, I'm like, this.
I will do anything for you for what? I'm just excited for her.
Yeah, me too. So stay tuned for next week.
Yay!
Okay, love you all. Have a great weekend. Sorry this was late. Bye.
Peace out, Boy Scout.
Volunteer and Information Quinty's Dancing with the Stars is returning to Belleville for its 15th year.
VIQ is a multi-purpose agency. Through volunteer programs, they assist with the recruitment, referral, retention, and recognition of volunteers to over 275 agencies throughout Hastings and Prince Edward County.
Dancing with the Stars Quinty is VIQ's largest fundraiser and ensures they can continue to provide essential programs and services to our area.
This year's Dancing with the Stars is on May 26th. For more information on VIQ and Dancing with the Stars, go to viq.ca. Tickets to the event are $25 plus applicable fees and can be purchased through Ticketmaster. Check the link in our bio.
The Babies of Quinte podcast is recorded and produced at Starboard Communications, home of 95.5 Hits FM, Cool 100, and inquinty.ca.